Hi, as promised, here is a video all about Tadasana, standing mountain pose, sometimes called Samasthiti. I'm calling it standing mountain pose as well because there's also seated mountain pose. There's Tadasana, which is another mountain pose, which is kind of like downward facing dog. So all we're really saying when we say mountain pose is strong like a mountain, immovable. So first of all, there's two ways that often in classes you'll be told to have your feet. So sometimes your instructor will tell you to have the feet together, have the big toes touching, have the ankles touching. Sometimes you'll be told hip distance apart. So either way, we're going to start in this video just with hip distance apart. You can measure hip distance first of all, quite accurately, by taking one of your heels, just pivoting on that. You can turn the toes in, so just bring the big toe next to the heel of the other foot, then keep the heel where it is and pivot back out again. When the feet are open again, that should be directly below the hip joints, hip sockets. So our next point, with the feet grounding down, so I'm going to try and work upwards through the body, really just to try and not confuse, more not to confuse myself as I go along, trying not to miss things out. So beginning with the toes, we want to fan the toes out. So we're fanning them wide, just like whenever I tell you with the hands, spreading the fingers wide, we're spreading the toes wide. But we're not pushing into the toes. We're just using that as a means to open the feet as wide as we can. Where we are pushing down, it's just underneath the big toe mound and underneath the little toe mound. So those two sides pressing down quite deliberately. We're also pushing down into the heels. So we're distributing our weight evenly between those 2 points, the front there and the back. So just take a moment. You can just rock forwards and backwards, just pivoting, moving the weight. See how it feels, and then try and find that point in the middle where you feel like it's as evenly distributed between those two places as possible. So a lot of teachers will talk about that sort of triangle on the bottom of the feet, 1, 2, 3. That's what they're talking about. So then working up the legs, coming up to the knees, we're going to engage the thighs in order to pull the kneecaps up as much as we can. So we're always keeping those thighs engaged. We're not like super wrenching the knees up. We're just keeping them engaged, keeping them active. We're also just going to try and rotate the thighs inwards slightly as well. So as you do that, you'll probably notice that the tailbone kicks back a little bit. You start to stick your butt out. So then we can counter that, bend the knees ever so slightly. And there's a point about 5 centimetres below the belly button. That is where we're just going to suck in, pulling the belly back towards the spine. As you do this, you notice that the tailbone is suddenly nice and tucked, the pelvis is pulled under, and then keeping that flat lower back, straighten the knees up again, standing nice and tall. Then our next point is at the sternum, the chest, the ribs. As we inhale, and try and lengthen upwards here by trying to move that breastplate upwards. So we're not trying to push it out as we inhale, but we're trying to consciously draw upwards. You notice that the shoulders draw up with it. So our next point is just relaxing the shoulders back, just draw them back. So we're keeping that height, lengthening the thoracic spine by lifting the breastplate, relaxing the shoulders down. And then just allow the neck to be nice and long, nice and tall. You can tuck the chin slightly, just to allow the crown of the head to emanate towards the ceiling. And then we're engaging the arms next to the body, engage the hands, and we're ready. So this posture, we call it a seed posture quite a lot because is where you begin. It's where so many postures begin. From here, you can begin to hinge forward, you can go backwards, you can step the feet either way, you can come down to sit. Anything can come from our standing mountain pose. So what I think I'll do now is, just to get a better idea, I'll just go through all the same points, but we're going to do it at a side angle as well. So again, pressing down with the feet, pressing down for those triangles. So the 2 points at the front and the point at the back and the heel. Engaging the thighs to pull the kneecaps up and rotating them, squeezing them inwards. And as you do that, you'll notice again, the butt begins to push out. And as you pull in at the belly there, that comes back in. Then we hold that tension there, lifting the breastplate, lengthening up the spine, relaxing the shoulders. Again, just tuck the chin, allow the crown to rise, allow the neck to be nice and long. Engage the arms by the sides. Once again, we're ready.